Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation, the Palladium full stack. Let's explore. There's 9 ounces here. It doesn't take too much time to count it up. You know, palladium is one of those metals that is what I refer to as a fringe precious metal. And I decided to take a little time in this present crisis to pull from the different places where I have this stored and bring it all together to show the community here this interesting precious metal. You know, palladium, as you know, is used as a catalyst, and it's very, very useful for gasoline engines. And its demand is quite strong these days. Even in this present crisis, the price has subsided only a little bit. A lot of this palladium that you see before you was purchased when it was very, very cheap. At around 2004, 2005, it got under $200 an ounce. In fact, I remember one price at about $167 an ounce was the price point noted by Spot that a lot of this was purchased. And some of the pieces you see here, such as this Stillwater palladium round here, is from the only mine here in the United States of America. These particular pieces are Buffalo round copies here, or palladium rounds that were created by Palladium Stillwater Mine, and it was produced by Johnson Matthey and minted by the Northwest Territorial Mint, which is no longer in business. So there you have things like that, and then you also have the bars, such as you see here. This is a Pam Suisse palladium bar, and it is 1 ounce of palladium's 3 nines fine and a half, so 0.9995, which is the typical purity that you find for platinum and palladium, the platinum group metals there. But very, very interesting. A lot of this, again, was purchased when prices were a lot cheaper. And then you also have the Royal Canadian Mint, which I think was the first of the major mints to produce palladium bullion products in the form of coins. And this is the Palladium Maple Leaf here. And this particular one is dated 2005. And then also have another one in the blister pack that is dated 2009. And so, yes, these are quite interesting. Palladium is a metal that it is denser, more dense than silver, but not as dense as gold or platinum. It is somewhere in between in density, so it is something to see. Now, my third palladium maple leaf here is in 2015 that was purchased, and you can see it compared to the other palladium piece here. It has the same diameter, but has a new security features to it. So there's that. And then the United States Mint was late to the party, and they came out with the 2017. This has been in the works for quite some time for the U.S. Mint. They came out with a bullion version here, their first and only bullion coin. This is a high relief palladium eagle, and it takes Adolf Weinmann's Architectural Institute Association, I believe, is the AIA, plaster mold for that particular metal, and this was used. The eagle may look familiar, as it is also a version that has been used on Adolf Weinmann's Walking Liberty $50, which the obverse of which now is the American Silver Eagle. Except the only difference is the head is up, and the branches are solely in the claw, not in the beak of the magnificent bald eagle here. But this is the 15,000 limited mintage on these, and it wasn't intended to be that but they squashed the bullion production of these and only came out with this product 1 year. Now, every year they have collector versions with different finishes starting in 2018, and that's what this is. And this is probably the most expensive piece of palladium that I spent on this, and I believe I paid $1,300 or so for this particular coin. And but that is the most I've paid for palladium, and palladium is now upwards of $2,200 as of the recording of this full stack video. But they will, palladium has gotten as high as $2,850 some odd dollars back towards the end of February of this year. And so it was going, which is a record for palladium, and it has gone down. It has been as low as below $167, $170 was its low. But nonetheless, why did I get this palladium? Well, for those of you who aren't aware, I am mainly a collector, and that is my primary focus. But one of the side benefits of collecting precious metals is you're stacking as well. And so I've purchased these mainly as a speculative and as a collector, first and foremost, but also for speculation as well, to kind of see where the prices go. Part of me would be a fool to hold on to some of these metals now, considering how high palladium is. But, I'm probably going to go ahead and keep these particular pieces here just because for the collector and the novelty and the rarity. Palladium is about 15 times more rare than platinum. And platinum is 15 times more rare than gold. So it is a very rare precious metal, and the demand for it, I believe, will continue to be strong as long as the need for a catalyst is there. Now, people say the future of catalytic converters is going to be dying off as technology and more clean energy is being utilized for our transportation needs. And I believe that probably will be the case, but I believe with emerging economies, especially in China with more cars being produced, that there will be still quite the demand as the new technologies become economically viable, which may be, at this point, may be suspended for some of those newer technologies as we are in an economic crisis at the beginning of one, I believe, especially with the latest what's going on. As of the recording of this video, we are in the midst of the coronavirus crisis, and so the economies around the world have been stifled by that. China is just now kind of re-emerging, but as you know, their economy is crippled as well, and probably will be for some time, just as our economy will be here too in the United States. But nonetheless, I believe this metal has other uses and utilizations in the form of as a catalyst and other ways and areas. So I believe demand will probably remain strong, especially considering there are only a few places in the world that produce palladium. And those are mainly South Africa and Russia, but in the Siberia regions. Places like Canada and the United States are probably the third and fourth producers of palladium out there. And I think that is why you saw the Royal Canadian Mint be one of the first to actually produce bullion products around this metal. But nonetheless, it is fascinating to see the properties of the metal and its various different forms, and the fact that the United States Mint has begun producing products for collectors now only, because each year the United States Mint will produce a palladium eagle that has varying finishes on it. For the very first year, 2018, it was a regular proof version that you see here. In 2019, they produced a reverse proof version. And this year, there will be a burnished or a regular collector uncirculated version. And my guess is probably next year, they'll probably do an enhanced uncirculated or an enhanced reverse proof version. There's several different finishes they can have, and then they'll cycle those over. That's based off of the legislation that they're required to produce a different finish each year for collectors. But my guess is we probably will not see a bullion version of Palladium in the U.S. marketplace, probably again, considering how hard it is to obtain the metal. Only 15,000 ounces each of these were produced. In 2019, there were 30,000, which was kind of surprised me that they were able to produce that many. But nonetheless, there it is, 9 ounces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of Palladium. In this Palladium full stack video, I hope you enjoyed. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for watching and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.